Hey there, happy day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. How a busman's holiday can help you supersize your business. How can a busman's holiday help you grow your business? What the heck even is a busman's holiday? This is actually a new idiom for me. I will admit I have lived this experience, what this idiom means, but I have never in my life heard this idiom before. Maybe because I'm not a world traveler or a globetrotter, and I haven't been exposed to a lot of different cultures and situations. Gal from Wisconsin, right? Grandma from Wisconsin, lived a few more places, traveled a little, but not extensively. So my level of experience is different and probably more sheltered and a lot more naive than a lot of people's. But what the heck is a busman's holiday? How can you use this to grow your business? A busman's holiday is an expression that means to spend your time off, your days off, the time you're not getting paid for, doing the same thing that you're doing in your working hours, the time that you're getting paid for your job or your occupation. So for example, a doctor who gets paid to be a doctor most of the time, but then goes on a vacation or a trip with Doctors Without Borders to help other people and to serve people using their medical skills, that would be a really good example of a busman's holiday. This expression, it actually comes from London in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. Buses were pulled by horses. People were transported in horse-drawn big bus type wagony things. I don't know, I have to look up a picture one, I guess, because now I'm curious. But the bus drivers loved their horses and cared for their horses so much that on their days off, they would often ride on their same routes to check up on and make sure that the other drivers that handled their team of horses were taking good enough care of them. They loved them so much. And the expression a busman's holiday was born because they were doing the same thing on their days off. They were riding on their buses, not driving them, but they were still doing the same thing, going around the bus route instead of actually spending time off with, family and friends or doing whatever people did back then when they were in their time off. And that caught on. Now, me growing up, I believed and thought that that was just, being a workaholic, working 7 days a week. And that, because I think that way and I've always operated that way, I just assumed, which is really a dangerous thing to do, that other people were that way too. But as I'm thinking about it and really looking back, probably the vast majority of people are not that way. The vast majority of people do their thing during their working hours and when they get paid for it, and then they leave that thing that they do behind them and they go interact with their friends and with their family and do the activities and adventures and travel and vacations and things they love. I think certain people are awesome at separating themselves in terms of, this is what I do for a profession, this is what I do for a living, this is what I do on my time off. I was actually trained as an engineer, and so I would have expected that I would be better at that. But growing up in an entrepreneurial family, I saw my dad work 7 days a week. He worked in corporate America, but on the side, he always had several businesses going, and I adopted that behavior from him. So even in my quarter century plus of corporate America job career, I still had several different businesses going on the side, or I always had at least one side business going on while I was working in corporate America. So I was pretty much using the same skills that I used in corporate America to lead and plan and organize and do projects in my weekdays, my jobs that I got paid for by someone else, as I was applying to my own businesses on the days I wasn't working, on the weekends, or after work and weekends. So I just thought that was, being how you lived. So for me, work has always been play, but I now realize that for everybody else on the planet, it isn't that way. Ha! Shocker, surprise, right? Everybody doesn't think like me. You're kidding, right? Thought everybody thought like me. That's kind of the rub. We all think everybody else is like us, but not like us. It's really a dichotomy of beliefs, and it can be very confusing sometimes. So when work is your play, there's that expression, if you love what you do and if you're passionate about your work, you never work another day in your life. To me, busman's holiday is like our core and foundational skills and abilities, our genius zones, the things we're so good at, we don't even think about it, and we don't really turn it off whether we're getting paid for it or not. If you love what you do and do what you love, you feel that way. And so maybe you're just like me and on a perpetual busman's holiday. I actually do pretty much the same thing 7 days a week. People give me a hard time and tease me. They're like, how can you make a video every single day, 7 days a week, holidays or whatever? Well, for me, it's sort of become a habit, but I've gotten to the point where I really like to do it. I feel like I've missed, I think, in one of my video things, like 2 days in the last 2 years because I was so sick. One, I couldn't even get out of bed to lift my head, and I think it was like just this last Christmas I had influenza A. So what? But I do it because I've set myself up and set my life up so that the things that I do all the time are the things that I love. I don't think that everybody's that fortunate, but if you're running your own business, if you're supersizing and growing your own business, guess what? You get to do that. You get to set your business up so that you love it. Now, I'm not being a proponent of, hey, work 7 days a week, never have time off, never unplug and unwind. You absolutely positively need to do that. But I think the line gets blurred between work and play when we love what we do. One of my favorite sayings is do what you love and love what you do, and it's so true. If I don't love to do it nowadays, as I get older, I don't do it. So how can you use Busman's holidays to really grow and build and supersize your business? I say, and what I like to do is I have passion projects that help to grow and build my business, and I work on those whether I'm, I guess theoretically I'm getting paid for everything I do these days, right? All personal development, whether we're getting paid for it when we're doing it or not, we ultimately get paid for that. Investments in ourselves are always investments that return 100-fold, right? So honing our own skills, although some people think that that's not a busman's holiday, that's a busman's holiday. If you go to a trade show or an industry event on your time off and your weekends and you're not getting paid for it, it's really a busman's holiday, right? So I'd be curious, have you ever been on a busman's holiday? Do you think and do you see how going to trade shows, going to industry events and things on your time off, whether you're paid for them or not, would help you in your business to grow and build your business? Serving the people that we serve and sharing our genius with them, whether we're getting paid directly for that or not, will always pay massive dividends. And that's one of the ways that I believe that we can grow and supersize our business, is always sharing our gifts with other people, right? Giving value first, and that's what attracts people to us. So I'd love to know what you think of this expression. Have you heard it? Have you had experience with it? I know I've got some UK friends, so they may have a clue and they might be just shaking their head at me and saying, how could you have never heard of this? But I have not. Share in the comments below and let me know what you think. I would love to know if there are any expressions or idioms that you would like me to research and find the meaning of to share with you, and how they impact and help us to grow and build the businesses of our dreams. That's it. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will be with you tomorrow.